Alright, wake it up, kids. We have another episode of Kingfisher Outdoors in the Kitchen. And one of these, a lot of these recipes I do, most of them are for barbecue. I got a smoker out back. I love smoking different types of meat and eating barbecue because I'm from the South and that's what we like to do.
Yeah, come on.
That's how we do it. So, anyway, I like having stuff with my barbecue. So today I have a pork loin that I smoked on the green egg. It's delicious, and I've pickled a bunch of things to go with it. And my son is a professional cook and a business owner. He owns his own food truck. And I was looking for your little sauce. And they have a hot sauce company called Dry Your Eyes. You can look them up on the internet. Anyway, so this is Joshua. And what I've had planned today is I'm going to give you a basic recipe for pickles. Easiest refrigerator pickles. I don't like doing stuff that's complicated. And we're going to give you that basic recipe. Then I'm going to let him taste. He and I are just going to have a little conversation, tasting all the different things I pickled. And he's going to tell me which one, out of all of them, he's going to pick one for me to give you the specific recipe on it, if I can remember it. All right, so we got our loin cut here, and the first thing we're going to try is some pickled. With our barbecue, we're going to try some pickled zucchinis. Okay, I'll take my bite here. Alright, now that pickle was done 2 days ago, and I put it right in the fridge. And I forgot to give you the recipe for this. This recipe is so simple. If this is all you want, you're about to be done. Here's what I do. Whatever I'm about to pickle, I put in the jar. So this was zucchinis. I packed it full of zucchinis. For a quart jar, I put a tablespoon of salt in there, and then fill it halfway with vinegar, rest of the way with water. You got your pickles. Shake it up real good and put it in the door of your fridge. I like putting it in the door of the fridge because then it agitates. If you don't want to do that, you can put it in the refrigerator. Make sure you shake it every day, depending on the different spices that you have in it. But that's the basic pickle recipe. For a quart jar, tablespoon of salt, your vegetables, half white vinegar, half water. Make sure the jar is clean, and that'll last. It'll be good in your refrigerator for about a month or so. It may not last a month or so. Mine don't last because I love snacking on these. So that's the zucchini. So we pickled some zucchini. So that's that. What do you think so far?
No, delicious.
All right, now those like I said, those are only 2 days old. It's best to let them wait 3. Nothing in here is 3 days old though. My onions and all that kind of stuff, they're like just 24 hours basically. All right, the next thing let's try. Now these are also, me and Josh are going to have one of these. These are also zucchinis, but the recipe on this is a little bit different. Okay. Let's use this sharp knife.
Have vinegar, huh?
Well, we're not going to tell the recipe until you vote.
That's delicious.
But yes, it is a different kind of vinegar. So, better than the first one, or same, or just different, or what?
This is different. It's not, I wouldn't say better or worse. They're both similar texture, just different flavor. I think they're both really good. My favorite thing about refrigerator pickles is how fresh they taste. Mm-hmm. They're not all mushy, very crunchy still.
The thing about something pickled, if you got a good barbecue meat or even a hamburger, hot dog, any kind of meat like that, it's always, for me, I really like to have something crunchy with it. Taco, like you like to have some sort of, tacos, they put some slaw on it, or they'll put some onions, crispy onions on there. Same thing with a hot dog and mustard. The best hot dog in the world, according to Uncle Don, is mustard, onions, solamente. That means only. Alright, so that's that one.
What, fresh onions?
Yeah, fresh onions. What about you? Best hot dog?
Southern finely chopped slaw and mustard. maybe chili if it's good, but I used to do ketchup on my hot dogs. I don't do them anymore.
Yeah, I'll give you a caveat on that when it comes to my opinion on hot dogs. I'll eat any hot dog you got, basically. Any one that I've ever tasted is good. I like the corn dog. What he's talking about, slaw dog, that's delicious. Yeah. Chili dog, I'll eat it. All right, the next thing we're trying here is some cabbage. So I just put some cabbage in a jar. I think I did blanch this cabbage, but we won't go to the recipe yet. So he's going to try the cabbage and see what he thinks of it.
Cabbage.
This is 24 hours. 24 hours in the fridge. I will say right off, it's not as pretty as my other pickles. Man, look here. That's beautiful. Just to look at. But so far, I'm okay with this. It's a little bit vinegary.
What about it? I think it's perfect amount of vinegar. And it's so crunchy still. I like the fact that it hasn't set too long.
Alright, that's cabbage.
I would also drink straight vinegar though, so.
Well, hey, we could have a video of vinegar challenge. If they had a Tide Pod challenge, we could just do vinegar.
We could do vinegar soaked Tide Pods.
Alright, so let's try might go down there. Let's do our pickled red onions here. These just look good. Check it out on the plate. They just look, they're fancy looking.
Fancy, huh?
Fancy. So what's your favorite kind of barbecue? If you had to pick one barbecue to eat the rest of your life.
Are we talking about this specific type of meat or a place that does it?
Okay, well that's a great question. When a man from the South says barbecue, he's talking about meat. He's not talking about a grill. It's not a verb of doing something.
No.
Barbecue is a very special type of meat cooked in a special way on a grill or a smoker. So, meat. What's your best tasting barbecue meat?
Right now my favorite's brisket.
Brisket, good.
But it used to be pulled pork. There's just
Yeah.
switches. We've been messing around with the brisket a bunch, so been accustomed to liking it a lot more than I used to.
Out of everything we've just now tasted, these red onions is about it for me.
Really?
So, you're picking, so we're not going to hear from you yet.
Alright.
That red onion I just ate, that's 24 hours, and it is delicious. If he doesn't pick this for the recipe, and I'm telling him not to, I'm going to put a link to the video on how to make this. In the video where I made this, I did not put any sugar, but I did put a tablespoon of sugar in this one. So if you want to add a tablespoon of sugar to the recipe that the other video recipe for red onions, delicious! Alright, good on that. Oh yeah, hang on.
They're really good. I made some of these the other week. I put a bunch of Thai chilies in them.
Was it good? Mm-hmm. I would be interested to taste that.
It's a delicious lunch.
Alright, next I have a small jar of Vidalia onions. Another secret or fun thing about pickling, if you don't know how to pickle, and you've never done it, I suggest you start with whatever you got right now. If you got a piece of an onion like we had left over from when my wife made salads, this is a Vidalia onion. Which, and we just put it in here, and I'll give you the recipe if he chooses it. Now Vidalia onions, for those of you not from the South, are from a place called Vidalia, Georgia.
Yeah, come on.
It is below the gnat line, if you know what the gnat line is. If you don't, you can look that up. But if you think to yourself, gnat line, that doesn't sound like a fun place. It's not. It's bothersome. The gnats are bothersome. This is Vidalia onions. They're very large, sweet onions. Now they being the agricultural people, have taken Vidalia onion seeds and planted them in California and in Florida and in other places, even other parts of Georgia, and they do not come out as good as the Vidalia onions. So if you're picky about such things, or you really want to try it, order some. There's companies on the internet that sell Vidalia onions. They'll ship them to you. They're delicious.
This junk's good right here.
This is the first time I ever had pickled Vidalia onion, by the way. It's alright?
Yeah, I like this. This is really good. It'll be really good on a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done strips like this. I've done chips, like Vidalia chips, pickled. Strips would be really good on a sandwich.
Mm-hmm. 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 On a carne asada taco. We had a carne asada taco with that.
Oh yeah.
It'd be delicious.
Some cilantro.
It's got jalapeno. I reckon y'all have seen those. Alright, this is our last one we're going to do. This is a other zucchinis, a slight difference in the recipe. Let's check that out. Chickadee check it. That part of that pork is a little dry.
That one's got a little more vinegar taste to it. Got that dill finished as well.
Yep, got some dill in it. Hey, I'm sorry if I'm quiet. This is delicious. Everything I made today is delicious. I'm proud of it. All right. So this is Joshua's pick. I've given y'all the basic recipe for pickling. He's going to tell me the one that I'm going to give you specific spices for, the one he likes the best. And then, whatever you're interested in, if you look at one of these and you think, oh, he didn't give me the recipe for that, just comment on the bottom and I'll just shoot it to you. I promise you it's simple. If you want to make pickles, just start making, put whatever you want to in it. The big key things on the pickling process is the salt, the vinegar, and the water. And then the safe process to make sure it doesn't go bad is just make sure it goes to the fridge right away. This is not your grandma's pickles where you're boiling it and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you go straight to the fridge on it. And again, they're not going to last, till the Revelation. So, so you got to go ahead and eat them. But everything I ever made is delicious. If you like pickles, it's fun. Let's try it with the kids. All right, what are we doing?
So I'm going to throw a little curveball at you. I think you need to show them how to make, or however you're going to do it, this one right here,
okay,
and then these right here. These are my two favorites.
All right, this is no problem. So on this one, you're going to do, just like I said, take your zucchinis, cut them into spears. Put them in there with a tablespoon of salt. The spices I used on this was some 2 or 3 spears of fresh dill. And I cut up about half of what they call a hot banana pepper in there. Also, all of these that I made, they have a full clove of garlic that's cut into 3 or 4 pieces. What else did I put in here? Okay, I put some fresh ground pepper in here. And, one of the things that makes this taste better than those other zucchinis is I put about 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar in here. When I filled it halfway full of vinegar, I put 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar and then filled it halfway up with the rest of the way, halfway with white vinegar, and then water, then fridge, and then agitate it. But my guess is there are plenty of y'all watching that know how to agitate something or somebody. Anyway, so that's that, and then Vidalia onions. Now boys, this is simple. I packed it with Vidalia onions. Since this is a pint jar, put half a tablespoon of salt. I do have 1 small spear of dill, and I do have some fresh ground black pepper. And I do believe I put a little bit of sugar. I wish I could give you exactly. But try it without sugar first because these are very sweet. And then if you wanted to put sugar in it, put a teaspoon of sugar. Let me just tell you something straight from Uncle Don. You can't hardly mess these up. Okay? So if you pickle a half of an onion that costs 75 cents and you mess it up, who cares? Try it again. All right, that's the fun part about life. And so at the end of all my videos, I like to say, stay curious, ask a lot of questions. I know some people get mad if you ask questions, or some people disrespect you if they think you're acting like you don't know everything. But who's nicer? somebody who's curious or somebody who thinks they know everything. Who would you rather be around? So this is Uncle Don and my son Josh are signing off. We appreciate it. Thank you.